The Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine would resume its journey as we headed to Spain for round 2 of the season. Up next was the marvellous home of the Spanish Grand Prix, the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, with 34 drivers ready to do battle and continue the fight for the 2023 title. After a thrilling opening round at Imola, the championship battle intensifies here in Barcelona, with some drivers looking for round 1 redemption and others looking to add to their Imola success.
Well, for sure we have 2 rookies in the championship, so Giovanni and Denso, they are new to Freca. So it's going to be their first year. For sure, Giovanni is coming from the Italian Formula 4, so he needs to learn most of the track because, of course, the European tracks, they will be new for him. So it's like a learning process that we just began with pre-season testing. But we are confident that they are showing good progress so far. Also Enzo, who is a little bit more experienced compared to Giovanni, but still he's coming from a sabbatical year, so it's going to be tough for him, in particular in Imola, to take the race pace back. But let's see how they behave and from where we will start this learning process that will for sure last for the entire season.
RHGP rookie Martini Estension comes into this round as the championship leader after a very impressive start to his Freca career with a win and 2 podiums at Imola. However, it won't be easy for the Norwegian to maintain his supremacy, with several challengers eager to dethrone him and put themselves at the top of the leaderboard. With 2 gripping races ahead, the stage is set for adrenaline-fueled battles at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, now back to its original layout, making for even faster racing. MP Motorsport and Sami Megatunev would make the fastest start to the weekend as the talented Frenchman set the fastest lap during Friday's collective tests. However, the focus quickly shifted to the qualifying sessions, which would both be held on Saturday. The first session on Saturday morning would determine the starting grid for race 2 on Sunday, whilst the second session in the afternoon would determine the grid for race 1, which would take place later on that evening. Qualifying at Barcelona is always crucial, and this weekend would be no different given the challenging nature of the track. With its fast and flowing layout, the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya makes it difficult for drivers to follow closely and overtake, particularly for those starting further back on the grid. In the first qualifying session of the day, RHGP's Tim Tramnitz emerged as the fastest driver to take his second pole position of the season. The German driver topped Group B with a time of a 1 minute 36.052, putting him at the front of the grid for race 2 on Sunday. Tramnitz once again displayed his exceptional speed on the Spanish track, having previously set the pace here during pre-season testing. Sharing the front row with him is Andrea Kimi Antonelli from Prema Racing. Antonelli secured the fastest lap in Group A with a time of a 1 minute 36.148. Megatunev carried over his pace from practice, getting 3rd place on the grid. Starting with him on the second row is Santiago Ramos from RPM. Both drivers closely trailed their respective session leaders, with the gaps at just hundredths of a second, highlighting their confidence to challenge for podium finishes. The 3rd row in race 2 went to Trident's Owen Tangavelu and Prema's Rafael Camara. Van Amersfoort's Josh Dufek took 4th position in Group B, putting him on row 4 alongside RPM's Maceo Capietto. Trident would fill the 5th row with drivers Nikhil Bora and Roman Belinsky.
Yeah, well, everything worked quite well in our session. I think the track was for the fact that it rained overnight and everything. The track was really quick, also compared to yesterday. So quite surprising. But in the end, we managed to bring a good lap in and be on pole position again after Imola. So yeah, it's very satisfying, of course.
Qualifying 1 was certainly not an easy session to master, with extra difficulties added by rainfall overnight, making for slippery conditions on track. However, immediately after the preparation and focus started for the second session of the day.
Well, yeah, let's see. First of all, we first have to analyze the data, see the video, see what I can improve in my driving, what the team can improve in the car. and then we will set our goal. Then we will know. But definitely, of course, the main goal is to be in the front. So that's our goal.
Having finished second in the second qualifying session, Antonelli was clearly in no mood to be the support act again. The driver from Bologna claims pole position for race 1 in a remarkable display of speed, securing the fastest lap overall in Group A with a 1 minute 36.134. Tim Tramnitz continued his impressive qualifying form, topping the session in his group to earn himself a place on the front row with a best lap of a 1 minute 36.890. Ramos would briefly be on row 2 once again after securing the second best lap time overall, but was later penalised for obstructing a car on its flying lap, resulting in a 2-position drop on the starting grid. This promoted Van Amersfoort's Kaz Havercourt, who claimed his spot on the second row of the grid and would start alongside Antonelli's Prema teammate Lorenzo Flucher, who was flying the flag for Spain. The third row went to the demoted Ramos and the consistent Mogyoród, who went third fastest in Group B, finishing less than a tenth of a second behind his group leader. The fourth row in race 1 is filled by Capietto and Dufek, and completing the top 10 was Delano Van Toff of MP Motorsport and Bora.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Definitely way better than this morning. I felt better in the car, and even though the track was a little bit more slippery to the higher temperature, I felt really good, and we were able to put a lap together in there early on and to get pole position.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. I'm not a rookie anymore, so I think it doesn't affect me so much. I think tonight starting 6, it's the good time to have a bit of weather changes. It can give us a good opportunity to jump on the podium and or to play the win even. And yeah, the teams maybe will have to play a bit strategy with the tires, and I like it. It's not a problem.
Yeah, officially we are a Switzerland team. Is the flag that we carry on, but our base is here just after the circuit, and most of our people is from here, from Barcelona. So yeah, it's a special race weekend for us. We know this circuit quite well. We test here a lot during the season, and hopefully we can bring some good results.
As evening falls in Barcelona, it is time for the drivers to take their well-earned spot on the grid and get ready for the first great battle of the weekend.
And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. It's certainly to get away well indeed. Antonelli gets away certainly very quickly. Further in behind as well, Tim Tramnitz trying to get a gain as well. Kaz Havercourt in the mix. Tramnitz has got Antonelli. Tramnitz with a superior start now, and Antonelli's in trouble because here comes Havercourt now. Side by side now through turns 1 and 2. They raid wheel to wheel as they head through now out of Elf Curve. Then they've got Renault, they're yet to come. It's Tramnitz leading though. Look at the RPMs making their way up as well. That of course being the likes of Santiago Ramos, Matteo Capietto as well is up there too. But Tramnitz, Tim Tramnitz, getting that early launch as they now sort themselves out. There's a bit of a gathering making their way down through Dorsey Curve. We've got a yellow flag. A yellow flag has been called. Could that be 2 MP Motorsport cars? I think it might be, you know. As we look here at this point, that is Delano Van Toff. And not to mention as well, out of the race, looks to be car number 15, that of course being Sami Mogyoród. It is indeed 2 MP Motorsport cars out of the race. We've just had a red flag delivered here in this session, so the cars will now come into the pit lane. Obviously the severity of the incident a little bit higher this time, and naturally I think it's going to take a little bit more marshal intervention for them to remove the cars and see them waving. Might even be a crane involved here. We'll have to wait and see. For the second time here at Barcelona, and still right now it's Tim Tramnitz leading the way. There you see further back as well some movement in behind. There we can see the RPM of Matteo Capietto now looking to try and attack that of Lorenzo Flucher as they headed towards turn 1. It is still Tramnitz in front. There we see some side-by-sides as well as they head up through the field now. Looks to be that an MP Motorsport, that of course being the sole one left, Victor Bernier, trying to make some big moves. They now peel through now the next right, heading out of Renault, down through towards Repsol. It's Tramnitz leading. There you can see Antonelli there further back as well, a little twitch then further back. And, they'll sprint now in towards turn 1 at Elf Curve. There you see them all in a line, in tandem, wheel to wheel. We got another battle further back as we can now see them go side by side, heading up through now towards the next right-hander as they now make the almighty climb through. That's Tangavello and Giusti coming together as well. Of course, Rafael Camara, we just saw in front of them, moving in towards turn 1. But sensational moment. There's an RPM car coming into the pits. And that, of course, being the 65 of Santiago Ramos. So the weekend certainly has hit certainly troubling times after a sensational test 1. And he's now found himself back into the garage. Are they retiring the car? It looks like they will be. So Santiago Ramos coming into the pits. And what looks to be a retirement here for Ramos. Real shame not to see him continue. Obviously, he had a really good weekend up to this point, and certainly qualifying was a positive. Yellow flag here, so yellow flag raised at turns 1 and 2, so an issue has occurred in the first sector. I can't see who's actually gone off, but I can see that Partishev is at the back, but as to whether he's the one involved in the incident, I'm not quite sure. We have got a safety car now, a safety car. Tramnitz now makes his way down the straight now towards turn 1 yet again. You can just see the yellow flags being waved and unfurled by the stewards. And that is certainly Owen Tangavelu who's come off there and unstuck. He is literally falling down the order. And, very shortly, we will, of course, head up towards the line. The safety car has pulled in. As now they head up towards the line now, and it will be Tim Tramnitz now who takes victory here at Barcelona. Antonelli comes home in 2nd. Havercourt finishes in 3rd. Lorenzo Flusha in 4th. Matteo Capietto in 5th. Joshua Dufek comes home in 6th, with Martini Estenshorn coming home in 7th, as well as Nikhil Bora in 8th.
After a challenging start from pole position by Kimi Antonelli, Tim Tramnitz seized the opportunity and emerged to win race 1 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine in Barcelona and stand on the podium for the first time in his FRECA career.
Yeah, finally. I think in the end I had a really good start, and this helped me to secure the win. And I think pace-wise I was a bit under pressure from Kimi all the race. But in the end I tried to bring the tires, I tried to save the tires a little bit and take care about the rears especially. And in the end everything worked well. And I was able to win the race.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun race on one side, really disappointing on the other one. We had a really strong pace in the race, but I did a mistake in the start and I lost immediately position. And it was really hard to follow. I was able to stay close, but I wasn't able to get that run to make the move. He did a good job, and mistake by my side.
Well, for me, I mean, the new layout is very cool. I mean, to drive. For the racing, it's a bit harder. I mean, we have like the last corner is quite a quick one, and with the dirty air, it's pretty hard. But I mean, still, it's a very nice track to drive on.
Martini Estenshorn put in a brilliant performance, climbing to 7th, and would once again be on the podium, this time as rookie winner.
Yeah, it was quite good. I started P13, so not the best starting point. But we managed to finish P7 in the end, which is quite good, I think. Quite difficult to overtake here on this track, but I think we maximized most opportunities, and in the end it was not too bad of a race.
On Sunday morning, it was time for the second and last race of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine's second round in Barcelona. With the first 2 positions on the grid inverted, race 2 is ready to start.
As they summon them now, the marshal in the back, keep your eyes peeled, green flags now being waved. Here come the lights, first light, second light, third light, fourth light, and the 5th light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. And certainly getting away well is Tim Tramnitz. Antonelli is also alongside it. Tim Tramnitz cutting off the entry point from Antonelli, and enters now Sami Megatunev into the fight. Very similar to what we saw yesterday. Antonelli having none of it though. Looking to tackle him in towards turn 1. They run side by side now. See them all in tandem. Turns 1, 2, very shortly 3. But Tramnitz leads here at Barcelona. What a start. He was very quick to usurp the efforts there of Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And now the Prema driver is down in second place with Sami Megatunev giving chase as well. There's Tramnitz. There you see there Antonelli. There's Mogyoród. You can see there as well the RPM. That, of course, being Santiago Ramos currently being challenged. And once again, they've got another RPM there. Just see the plethora of cars making their way around the next left of the seat. And now they're going to take the birth curve 3 wide there, heading up the road as well. As we see the cars coming together, we just witnessed there the car number 21. That, of course, being Kirill Smal on his debut appearance this season. Obviously, his first round of the championship. But a nice clean getaway, no concerns, no yellow flags, no reds. We have got a clean getaway on lap 1, and it's all down to the drivers. We just saw there as well Tim Tramnitz up in the mix. He still leads the way, and I have to tell you, consolidating that as well. The gap now between him and Antonelli sits at nearly 7/10 of a second. Lucas Medina off in the gravel trap. So Lucas Medina, we have a safety car now out on the track here. So there we go, safety car has been released. As now we have green flags now, we put pedal to the metal for the second time in this race now Barcelona, and still it's Tramnitz leading the way. Second, Antonelli, who is giving chase as well as they make their way down towards turn 1. The Prema still not quite close enough to escalate a race move, but a little bit of contact here as we see side by side, further back. It looks like that might be, looking at our screens, it's side by side actually the Trident car further down, and I think that might be Ruben Belinsky coming together with Lawrence Van Hoopen heading through the first sector. It looks like Van Hoopen might have got his number on that occasion, jumping ahead of Ruben Belinsky's Trident as they make their way through. A massive moment, but Belinsky retaking the position, just seeing him there in front as well. Or is he? No, there's Belinsky now, and there's 2 Tridents now in the mix too. Coming together, that of course being Nikhil Bora, who is right in the mix. Owen Tangavelu as well, with Martini Stenshorn up there as well, fighting in the midst of this. Obviously looking to try and get a clean getaway, but a massive moment in the mix of all this. And incredible to watch Lawrence Van Hoopen trying to gain on the back of Roman Belinsky. Of course, Belinsky still holding his own in 8th place, but looking at the back end of things, we saw Nikhil Bora and Martini Stenshorn making places, and Owen Tangavelu further back as well, having a vastly better race than what he had yesterday. As we now watch and see the cars now rise up through Bank San Badell. Tramnitz still in front, and Antonelli in 2nd place still now. The gap within a second, but it has drawn outwards by around 3 to 4/10 of a second. So Tramnitz starting to put the squeeze on a little bit here. If Antonelli's not careful, he's going to be outside of the second, and of course he will lose out on that precious slipstream. That will of course help him as they make their way down the straight still, yet again commencing another lap, and there's another car off in the pits. No, certainly Martini has something to think about here, and of course this being his rookie season in the championship, as now we're seeing again a little look down the outside, this time for Joshua Dubek, who was doing similar things yesterday when we saw him go racing. We've got another side-by-side here as well as they make their way down through towards turn 1, and certainly this time, of course, being the battle between Kirill Small as well as what looks to be Marcus Amand as well, coming together heading through the first section. And Kirill Smal between Santiago Ramos. Now we're seeing some side-by-sides as well. That, of course, being that of Joshua Dubek, this time on Ramos, who comes side-by-side. And certainly that has taken the pressure off Mogyoród to a certain extent. And in fact, something must have happened because the gap certainly has drawn outwards. Mogyoród pretty much in a world of his own here. And with the gap now starting to throw out a little bit further now as Ramos starts to be hunted down by Joshua Dubek. Now, is there a chance now for the MP Motorsport car, or the Van Amersfoort car, to certainly make a move here on Ramos as they now start weaving down the straight? Of course, the RPM trying to hold on to his distinct advantage. We can see certainly Joshua Dubek trying to usher in an opportunity. Tries to go in side by side through turn 1. No, says Ramos. Tries to hold on to the position here at this point in P4, but still being hunted down by Joshua Dubek, who, as I alluded to yesterday, was showing similar signs of action before as well, as Kamara looks to come and join him in the fight too. Battle further back again, as now we're seeing Ramos once again curtailed to the inside to get away from Joshua Dufek, who once again fills up the mirrors on the right-hand side. And there's another fight too. Enter now, certainly the Prema. This time that is number 7 Prema of Lorenzo Flusha. Michael Belov, though, round the outside of turn 2, as they now head through the next right, heading through Renault Curve, and they'll remain nose to tail. A big moment as Belov starts asking the big questions here at Barcelona. They make their way down through towards Repsol, and certainly not able to quite make the move, but certainly probing. He's far from out of it, certainly at this point. Flusha doing his best to keep him at bay and did so brilliantly. Still, we have 3 Prema cars in the top 10. As now we see Tramnitz now make his way towards turn 1, and there is, of course, Antonelli, and he's now got closer again, Antonelli. He's now within 0.6 of a second, so he's now really started to push. We've got 40 seconds now to go here in this session, plus the 1 lap here in this race. So if Andrea Kimi Antonelli wants to try and take this race win, he has got to do it within the next couple of laps. Obviously, we've still got this one and one more after it, folks. So keep your eyes peeled on these two. It is still Tramnitz up at the front. Antonelli chasing his first win of his season. Not to mention his Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine career here. Because Tramnitz gaining his yesterday, looking to add a second to his locker here at Barcelona as the counter now ticks downwards. 3, 2, 1. That is essentially race over. It's now down to 1 additional lap of magic here. Can Tramnitz hold on? Kimi's off. Kimi into the gravel trap. Now that could definitely upset the balance as now they make their way towards now the Lakea bend. Now what has that done to Kimi's tyres? Has he lost that grip? He looks a little tail happy. I think he might have lost that little bit of grip, that little sensitive dip into the gravel trap. He's definitely pushing to try and bring that delta downwards at turn 13, and there is a car. Oh, there it is. That looks to be the cause as they make their way down and around on the final lap. I can see out my window at the back Sabadell corner that Tim Tramnitz still holds on to the advantage at the front end, with Kimi Antonelli closing him down here. But it looks like it's going to be made apparent here as now Tim Tramnitz enters turn 14, heads through New Holland now very shortly for the final time. And it's been a decorated race weekend. Tenacious but brilliant. Tim Tramnitz takes his second win of the weekend here in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Andrea Kimi Antonelli comes home in second. Sami Megatunov comes home in third. And further back then, Santiago Ramos finishing in fourth.
Now with 2 wins to his name after an almost perfect weekend, unsurprisingly, Tim Tramnitz becomes the new championship leader with 58 points scored in the first 2 rounds. His closest rival, with 2 second-place finishes this weekend and 3 this season, is Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who sits just 4 points behind. After another solid weekend, third is Kaz Havikort with 50 points. The results, however, remained provisional after race 2 due to additional technical checks on parts of Antonelli's gearbox to be carried out during the week in the impossibility to perform it on the competition field.
Yeah, to be honest, the race was a bit more calm for me today than yesterday. I think our pace was just a bit better. I still was under pressure the whole race from Kimi, but I think I managed the tire quite well. And yeah, in the end, it's all about tire saving and doing a good start. And I think we really did a good job there. Yeah, I think in the end I just brought it all together, and I still had some tires left. Of course, the degradation here is quite high, but anyway, it was not that bad for me in the end. And yeah, I think he was using push to pass as well. So yeah, he got quite close, especially in the first sector. But yeah, in the end, I managed to hang on.
Yeah, it was a tough race for me. I think I was fighting quite a lot with the cars compared to the 2 guys in front. At mid-race, I just decided to fight for the 3rd place. I just accepted my situation, and yeah, it was tough. But then it's still a good result to get on the podium, and it's good for the team, good for me for the point in the championship. I've been quite unlucky with the races before, so I hope from now I will be more on the podium in the next races, and yeah, it's good.
The exciting junior single-seater series of Alpine and ACI Sport will be back with round 3 in June from another historic F1 venue as we travel to the Hungaroring. We'll see you then.